Hi guys, and welcome back to a new video. So today we're going to talk about one of those very essential sleights you have to know to be a good, well-rounded card magician, I'd say. So we take that red ace, we rub it a little bit, and it becomes the ace of spades. Now obviously, now you might be thinking, well, that was pretty obvious, I know exactly what you did. And of course it is when you do it like this in front of the cameras, but we'll talk about ways to cover this move and how to manage it to make it indetectable. Now the top change is a very old move, and we probably don't know who created it. It's been around for so long. It's the most classic change out there. It's essential. It's up there with the double lift, more or less. And a lot of the best tricks uses the top change. And it's just a great move that you have to learn, and we're going to learn it today. So in this video we're going to talk about the micro level of the move, this right here, which is, as I said, in itself it's not very deceptive, but we're also going to talk about the macro perspective, how to manage it, and as I said, make it indetectable. And I'll also show you one or two tricks, quick tricks in the end, to kind of illustrate the top change and how it works. So as I said, the top change in its most basic and raw kind of form looks something like this. Okay, so it's exactly what it sounds like. You're exchanging the top card just like this. Okay. And this in itself, again, is not very deceptive, right? But we're gonna begin by examining how this works, the micro level of it. Actually, it can be a good idea to only start with two cards. Hold one card in dealer's grip here in the left hand, and the other card is held in the right hand like this. It's a little bit different from the Roy Road to Card Magic. This again is from the Roy Road to Card Magic, but the grip here is a little bit different, okay? So I hold it like this. So it's down in this corner, the inner right corner. The thumb is on top, the index finger is down below, and the middle finger is here at the edge here, basically. And that makes it easy to just, you know, show it and turn it back, turning your wrist, but also using that middle finger a little bit, okay? And here's what's happening. You're gonna go with this card over like this, putting it on top like this, and underneath your index finger is going to open a little bit of a gap here and contact that other card, okay? And basically what you're going to do is you're going to pull with this index finger and push with the thumb, okay? Like this, basically, okay? So again, you come over, you create a little space here to contact that card, and now you pull with the index finger and you push with the thumb like this, okay? So it doesn't have to be super fast, but you know, you want it to be pretty smooth, something like this, okay? So once again, you open a little bit of a gap, you come over, you contact that bottom card, you push with your thumb, you pull with your index finger, like so, exchanging those cards, just like that. Okay, now let's do it with the deck, the entire deck, and it's basically the same thing, but this time you're going to push this card over a little bit. So as you start moving this over, you start pushing this over here in your left hand, and apart from that, it's the same thing. You open a little bit of a gap, and here you pull with your index finger, you push with your thumb, and you kind of push that right into the thumb crotch, more or less. And I don't come straight from the right like this. Instead, I come a little bit from the right and down in a diagonal kind of line, like this. Works better for me, at least. You do what works for you. Also, as you put this card on top, try not to raise your thumb too much. Just keep it there, but loosely, so you can't push that card in under the thumb. But don't do something like this, where you lift the thumb to make room for this card, because it's not necessary, okay? There's going to be a little bit of a movement, but you don't have to lift it from the card, okay? So this is the top change on the micro level. It's not that much to it. You simply push this over here at the left hand as you come over, and as again you just exchange the cards, just like that. It's not more to it. Honestly, on the micro level, there is a lot more to it to make it deceptive and to make it work out there in your tricks, and that is what we're going to look at right now. So the best way to do, or the best moment to do the top change could be when you move your body, let's say from right to left, like this. So what you do is you show the card, you move over like this, and then you move back. Okay, so let's look at that a little bit more slowly. So you have your weight shifted to the right, and then you move the right hand a little bit faster than the left hand, and as they cross, you do the change, and then you move only your left hand. And when you move back, you move both hands. Basically what they're seeing and what their mind will make up when they look back to it is that you went from this to this, from this to this. Okay, so in their mind, as long as you talk to them and have some misdirection and they're not looking directly in your hand, the hands never cross, you know. They simply move like this. So an example to do this in a real performance setting, just as an example, would be to be like, so this is your card and you show the wrong card, and they might go, no, that's not my card. And then you shift and you go, did you see the card as well? And you do the change in that moment, and he says yes, and you might go back and go like, so what was the card then? And he says the name of the card, and you go, okay, just blow in the back of this card, and it has changed. Okay, so that's just one example of how you can use this dynamic of going from right to left, or of course from left to right works as well, you know. So it's basically that old kind of principle that the bigger movement is covering the smaller movement. Another way is going from front to back like this, or from back to front, and do the change. There are different situations you can do that. Or basically from holding up a card like this. And again, this is just the same example, but you hold it up and you go, okay, so this is your card, and they go no. And as you relax, you come down with the hands and go like, what? Is that not your card? What was your card then? And in that moment you do the change, okay? And you continue from there. Another good moment to do the change is when your hands cross like this. Again, as I said, when you go from front to back or back to front. And another example here can be to hold the card. You're gonna change to this card and you go, can you just hold up your hand a little bit? And just a little bit lower so that I don't see the card, or something like that. So basically what you're doing there, you switch the card, you ask them to hold out their hand, and as they do, you come over with your left hand, you do the change, and then you adjust that hand. We can do a funny remark, you know, it needs to be exactly 15.7 centimeters over the table, or something like that, okay? Or maybe they're holding out the left hand and you go, oh sorry, it needs to be your right hand. Okay, this is just some examples, okay? Another moment, if you have glasses, you can do the change as you take up your hand and just adjust your glasses or your tie or something like that. So it's basically the same principle. As the hands cross, you do the switch. Another example, another cover that goes, you know, from the front to back would be we're going to switch this one out and put it underneath this card box, okay? So we've done the switch there. So all we do is we say, okay, let's put this card someplace safe, sorry, and we do the switch. So in slow motion, we have this card, we come over with the left hand, we do the switch, we lift this up, put it underneath, and we've switched out the cards. That's another excellent cover in my opinion. Here's another example for when the hands cross, you know, you display this card and then you say something in the lines of, maybe you want to shuffle the cards. And again, the hands cross, you do the switch as you come over like this, hand this out for shuffling. It will work in some tricks, some contexts, not all of them, but as long as you think along these lines that I've shown you now, you're gonna come up with a lot of different situations and justifications for your hands to cross or for your body to move where it will be suitable to do the top change. Now let's just look at a trick or two, some quick tricks we can use the top change just to illustrate how this can work. Okay then, so here's a quick trick from the Royal Road to Card Magic called the changing card. It starts on page 218. You can do this anytime, it's quick, it's snappy, it's fun. So you have a card selected, maybe from someone here on your left, and they look at it and they show it to everyone. In this case, it's the 2 of clubs, okay? And now all you have to do is have that returned and control it to the top. So let's do the over and shuffle control in this case. All we have to do is control to the top, and now you turn to someone on your right and you say, okay, now I want you to pick a card. Pick any card and it will be the exact same card as he picked, okay? So they just point to a card, but you take it. They don't look at it yet. You take it, you hold it, and you go, and there the other card is over here on the top. And you go, okay, so this is your card. This is the exact same card, or something like that. And you show this card, and of course it's the wrong one. And you act a little bit confused, you know. And then you turn to the first spectator, you do the change, and you go, so what was your card then? And they say the 2 of clubs, or whatever it was. Yes, the 2 of clubs. And all you do now is you rub it a little bit like this, or you let them blow on the card, or you go just confused, yeah, I know this is the 2 of clubs, right? Or something like that. And that usually gets a pretty good laugh. So try that out. As I said, it's quick, it's easy, and it's great to practice the top change. Okay, so there's another quickie you can do to practice the top change. It's from the Royal Road to Card Magic once again on page 220, called simply top change by play. And it's a little bit more advanced because you need to know the classic fours for this. But anyways, here's how it's done. You have them select any card. It's a free choice this time, and you show it to everyone just like this. And then you go and you pretend like, oh no, I made a mistake. Let's try again. And you shuffle this into the card, and you are all apologetic basically, and you do a classic 4. So go watch the 4s video if you haven't, and they pick the same card, which, you know, gets a laugh. Okay, and here you can turn to someone and go like, things always works out in the end, or something like that. It doesn't matter. And as you do that, you do the change. You just toss this and you go, you know, let's do this with another card. And now you can cut this into the middle, or you can pass it into the middle. Doesn't matter if you can do the classic pass. And here you force that card once again. And again, you know, that's very surprising, and someone will always reach for this one, you know, and it will be just a random card. But it's a fun little trick if you can do the classic 4s. It gets people really excited for some reason. But it's always fun when you can force the same card multiple times to the same spectator in a convincing way. But it's also risky business, so you really need to practice the classic 4s for this one. Okay, I hope you've gotten something out of this video. The top change is an excellent move. You need to practice it until it's smooth and somewhat silent, although a little bit of sound usually doesn't matter, to be honest. But it needs to be smooth, and you need to get your aim right, you know, because obviously you don't look at your hands as you do the switch. So you need to get your aim right so you don't, you know, miss that switch. But it's an excellent move, so make sure to practice it. You can have a lot of fun with it. It's really fun to improvise with. So let me know if you have any questions or what you think about it in the comments, and I will show you next week a really cool trick using the top change with a lot of misdirection. So even if you haven't mastered it completely, you will feel confident to do that trick. Okay, thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye bye.